Oh, it's 1 degree out here, but I've got a few little jobs on Sharon's car I've got to do. So let's take a look and I'll show you what we've got to do to it. Right, now normally I wouldn't be out here working, but she's got a fuel leak. When we had the exhaust put on, the bloke down the station said that he noticed a fuel leak around by the fuel filter. I didn't realise there was a fuel filter at the back here, but we're going to have a look at that. Plus, she's recently started to smell fuel in the car, petrol. So we're going to need to look at that. And that's the reason why I'm out here. But there's a couple of other little jobs to do. We've got a rear brake light on this side to sort out. We've got that headlining, which is all like a Buddhist temple in there, if you've seen it in one of my other videos. We've also got the surround that one of our Sharon's, or my subscribers, sent us for Sharon's radio. We've got the wrong one fitted. David Schultz, that was, he sent us the correct shroud for Sharon's radio. So we've got that to do as well. And also, because of the water issue, now I understand that in modern cars, especially when they're not doing long journeys, you do get water collecting exhaust. I know that's just a matter of course. It's always, you've always had water, but with these newer cars where they've got catalytic converters, they produce a lot more water, and that could be the reason why it's filling up the rear silencer, because it's not really doing a lot of long journeys. But someone else did suggest that it could be a head gasket issue. Now, I haven't lost any fluid out of this car, but I'm going to do a head gasket check anyway by using the kit that I've got to plug it into the expansion bottle once the car's up to temperature, add in a chemical, and that chemical, if it turns a different colour, if it turns yellow from blue, that means there's exhaust gases entering the water system, and that could also mean there could be a possible water leak as well. I don't think it's that. One of my commenters said that for every gallon of petrol that's produced, something like 3.25 litres of water is also produced. So, but on a normal warm car, when a car does a normal journey, it all gets blown out. So other people also said that it's not uncommon to drill a little 2mm hole in the back of the rear silencer if that's where the water's collecting, and that also aids in pushing it out if your vehicle's not doing a lot of long miles. Since this lockdown, the car's probably not been travelling as much as it has done, so we might even just put a small little hole in there, because the amount of water that was in that exhaust when he took it off and he shook it and actually showed me, that will rot it out in no time. So anyway, enough of me rabbiting. Before we go any further, I'm just going to change this light first, so let's do that first. So let's get it up in the air. Now these are nice and easy to do on here. You've got a little trap door that lives here. Pull that down. Don't want to stay down, but there you go. There's a waterproof jacket in there. But in here at the back, you have a couple of plastic clips, which you probably can't see all that well. I'll just pull them out. There we go. And he brings the light cluster out. There we go. There's our bulb. I've actually disconnected it there accidentally, look. So that comes right out, and I can automatically see, you probably can't see, but that one there, which I think is the brake light there, that bulb was actually gone there. So I'm going to change that, so let's get that out. Right, okay then, so we've got a equal pin, in other words, the pins are the same heights. On some, you have a stop and tower light normally, where you've got a pin there which is low and a higher pin on the other side, but these ones are just brake lights, and these are 12 volt 21 watts, these ones, and you probably can't see that, but that's well and truly blown. So I've got another one here, and literally exactly the same, and I'll just put that back in, and that's the job done. So let's put this back in. Right, you're not going to really be able to see this, but I'm just going to plug that electrical connector back on. So there you can see there's the actual installation there, nice and simple there. And that's it, job done. So we didn't need to take the lens off. If we needed to take the lens off, you've got these little screws around the 3 screws there, as you can see, but we didn't need to take the lens off. That's pushed back on again. So it's literally plastic clip there you undo, and one this side, and that just pops out. Right, I need a help from my glamorous assistant now. So put your key in the ignition, put your feet in, key in the ignition, just turn the ignition on. Right, put your foot on the brake. Oh, beautiful. Right, okay, switch your lights on. Now put your foot on the brake again. Happy days. Right, job done. Out you go, baby. Your role in this object is now finished. Come and say hello to everybody. I just said we've been out this morning, haven't we?
Yeah, but I've got to go because I'm in the middle of doing Scotch eggs.
We've been out ST220 because this is broken and it needs attention.
Well, it's not not broken, it's just a little bit poorly.
Yeah, well, so am I, baby, but I'm still out here doing it.
Yeah, you will be in there.
Go on, off you go, eh?
I said you will be poorly out in there.
Right, okay, that's one.
You need your hat on.
I'm not going to put my hat on now, shall? Right, let's just put that back in there then for the moment. I'm not going to tidy it up, it's not my job. Right, that's that done. Stage 1 of the operation finished. Like that. Right, okay. Let's try and fit her radio surround now. Let's get that out. Her car's in the right old state. She's taking the bloody keys in and all. Right, now, as I say, this is a surround off of a Vauxhall Vectra, which this was garage radio, and I had to sort of, well, we bodged it in basically, so I'm hoping that that is not needed anymore. Bit of sticky back plastic. And we got this one, which was sent to us by our subscriber, David Schultz. So thank you very much, David. And I'm hoping it's just going to go straight on. There you go, that's in. Happy days. If we get enough time in this video, I'm going to try and get this up. I'm not taking the roof lining out. I'm not going to that extent. I'm going to pierce a little hole in it with a needle and get some spray adhesive and try and do it that way. So that's coming up. Right, okay then. So we need to get under the rear right-hand side of this. The fuel filter lives just behind the back wheel. They said it was leaking around where the fuel filter is, so I don't know until I've actually get down there and have a look. And for that, I've brought out this old Clark strong arm 2-ton jack, which was kindly sent to me by Machine Mart. And the great thing about this is you only need, I think, 6 full pulls before it gets up to full height, and it's really high. I've done a review on this compared to my other jack, so I use this one all the time now. Absolutely fantastic. So let's get this under the car and get the car up in the air. Right, okay then, we've got the car up in the air best I can, and coming under behind the rear wheel, just on the side of the petrol tank, is the fuel filter here. And let me just have a smell of this. It's liquid here, but I don't know if it's rain or not. No, that is petrol. Let's just have a little clean up here. See what we've got. I think this is going to probably need a new fuel filter on it as well, by the looks of it. So I'm going to try and get this filter out now. And it should just slide out. These are, I think these front ones you have to push in. Normally there's a tool which you have, I think, which you can press these from both sides. But I don't have that tool. Yeah, bear with me. I'm going to have to go and get a pair of grips and try and get these off. Right, okay. I'm going to try and pinch these 2 blue parts of the clip in there and then pull that forward. I think that top pipe's got to come out of that clip up there, look. There's a clip here, look. I'll just get a screwdriver and pull that out of there. Otherwise I'm not going to be able to get that out. There we go. Oh. Right, okay. I managed to get that one off. I think the clip's going to be okay still, so you do get a bit of fuel leak out of there, so just be careful. And that's all corroded around that joint there, which you can probably see that's where it's probably been leaking out from. So I will give that a bit of a clean up when I get it off. I've got a little bowl under there as well, just to catch some fuel. The back one now. Ah, there we go. Got it off. There we go, popped it off. Oh, that was a pain. So we should be able to just pull that out now. Still got loads of fuel in it, I think. Come on, you baby. Right, that's it. Right. Now I think you get, with the new filter, I think you get a new insert for these ends. I'll have to wait and see, but right, that's out now. And I'm sure you'll agree that that filter's seen better days. It seems to be leaking from around these sealing rings here, and that one at the back there is all corroded there. So yeah, I've ordered a new one anyway. I've got to go and pick it up now, so I'm going to pop down to the motor factors. Only about £7, £7.50, something like that. So I'm going to do that now, and I'll see you in a minute. Oh, right, okay, just come back from the shop now. Got myself a new fuel filter. Let's just show you the old one first. This was in a right old state. And I think it was leaking out of these ends here. That end is virtually corroded away there. Look, that's what them pipe clips clip onto. That one's still okay, but it's got loads of corrosion around it, and as you can see, it's in a bit of a state. So let's have a look at the new one. Again, this cost £7, just over £7 I think it was. And what you also want to make sure you get when you buy one of these is you get the 2 new ends. Now, I've seen a few videos online and they show that either end there's different clips, but these are both exactly the same, and them little plastic things there drop over, them little clips there drop over that ring and then sit behind that ring, and that's what I was trying to prise out, them little blue plastic things there. Either side, you have to do them either side before you can actually withdraw that off like that. As I say, there are ways to do it. When you put these in to the holders, if you pinch down on the back of them, that should tip the little points up in the air, as you can see, and then you should be able to at least pull forward to get it out that way, because there is a special clamp tool which you normally take these off with. Otherwise you've got to do the levering thing or pinching them. Anyway, that's that. So I've got these 2 clips. There's also a flow arrow on there, so that flows towards the engine. So that's the way I'm going to be putting it in. And there we go. So that's it. Let's get it put in. Okay, folks. Right, that's the old one out now, as you can see. Them little plastic clips, these little things that were stuck in the original, were a right pain to get out, and they look like they were solidly in there, so I'm hoping that these are going to be all right. So let's fit these ones, as it shows you, to this. So you push them on apparently till they clip over there like that, and that one goes over there like that. Now these should now push into them plastic connectors, but I didn't think they looked like they were going to fit, but we'll try it anyway. So this end was slightly different than on the older one, as you probably remember. Now let me just show you what I mean. This is the old one, and I don't know whether or not I've got an issue with half of this being stuck in that clamp, which is why I had problems getting it out. So that is, let's put that the right way around, like that. There we go, like that. And as you can see, the ends on this side is actually different. So I think it's split on that ring there, and half of it is still stuck in the connector, which is why I had so much problems getting out. So I don't know whether or not I'm going to be able to get out of that connector. If not, I'll have to buy a new pipe, because you don't want to damage them plastic clips. So there is a difference on my one, as you can see, than the old ones. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to do that on camera, because I'm going to have to pull a lot of it apart and hopefully not damage the connector. So I'll do that and then I'll come back to you. Right, folks, this job has turned into a right nightmare. I can't get the metal left in little metal stub out of that plastic connector, and I don't want to break the plastic connector. So the only other way I can think of doing it is to get that actual pipe out that goes up to the fuel tank. Let me show you what we're dealing with here. It's not good. So you know the pipe that comes on the back end of the filter, that comes up. I've had to take the back seat out of the car, as you can see, and it comes under there it comes under there, and as you can see, it pushes on to this one here, which is the feed coming out of the tank. Now halfway up here, about here somewhere under the floor, where there's no trapdoor, there is actually a pipe clip. So we've had to get the long nose pliers in and prise that out of the pipe clip. So now this pipe is actually floating backwards and forwards. So it goes obviously along the top of the tank, and then it sets down, and then that way to our little connector lug down there. So I've got to try and get this out, and failing that, if I can't get it out, then I've got to try and obviously get a new pipe to get a new end on it, sort of thing, because they're all moulded on. I've got some nylon cord here. Rather than me just try and pull that out, I've got to obviously tie this on, probably to this end of it, and then as we pull it out, hopefully it will feed in, and that will give me at least a route back in. The only other way is to drop the fuel tank, and that's full of fuel, and I ain't going to be doing that, so we've got to get over it somehow. So I'm going to try and get this plastic clip off the end of this end now. Let me show you. So this is the pipe here that goes onto the end there, and just to make it pull through a little bit easier, I'm going to take this little plastic clip off. These are the same clips there, as you can see, look. So you've got to lift up one side, lift up the other side and there we go. So right, there's that plastic clip off, and those are the same clips, as you can see there, as the other end. But it's this part of the tube, which is metal on the fuel filter, that's actually stuck in the actual clip. So now I've got that off, I'll need to fix this in here somehow. I'll probably just wrap that around with tape. So I'll push that in a fair way, and then I'll get some tape, bind it around there for now. This is all clean. So as I pull it out that way, it will come out and take the tube in with it. That's the plan anyway. Let's show you quickly what I've done. Right, so all I've done is literally just tied a piece of nylon, well, it's streaming wire actually, to the other end of the pipe. So I'm going to go underneath now. Jimmy's going to feed it into me, and hopefully we can pull the whole pipe out without removing the tank. Right, Jimmy's going to feed it into me now. Okay, feed it in. Yeah. I'm hoping we can pull it out. It's a stiff pipe, you see.
You might just have to give it a bit of a yank.
Yeah?
Yeah. Go on.
Nice, tight. No, just take it back to you if you can.
It's the tape around it.
Can you take it back to you? Will it come back to you?
No.
Hey?
No.
It's come out. Oh, it's come out. Oh, don't so.
Hold on. Where's that long nose plier thing?
Oh, what a pain, isn't it? All because it's stuck in there, the end stuck in there.
Now the tape's come off.
No, well, that's not worked. Oh, here we go. Happy days. So if I can't get that out of there, that little end, that metal in there, I don't know if you can see it in there, then I've got to buy another one of them. Oh well, we got somewhere. So I've lost my pull through cord, as you can see that pulled out, but I think I should be okay. So that's the pipe in question. And I'll probably go down the road of actually replacing that. Now, I don't think I'm going to get that out. There's too much of a mess in there. So I'm going to look online now, see if we can replace this pipe, and then I'll get back to you. I'll see you shortly. Well, I've had a little go at getting it out, and to be honest with you, it's not coming out. It's still stuck in there, and I don't want to dig anymore and try and risk putting that back on and it having a fuel leak. So I'm going to get another one of these. I'll have to order that on Monday. So I'm going to have to leave this video here now, unfortunately, for simple little jobs I had planned for this today, and it's turned into an absolute nightmare. Unbelievable. Anyway, thanks very much, folks. There will be a part 2. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button there, ring the little notification bell, set your preferences to all. That way you'll get notified every time I upload a video, including the next one. So I'll see you in the next video, folks, and until then, bye for now. Unbelievable, isn't it?